The following program contains language, images, and/or subject matter that may be objectionable to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Direct from Albany, New York, it's time for the New Media Zone. With your hosts, Ed and Dave. Tonight, a look at this week's new film and DVD releases. And a chance to win free movie tickets with the Poster Pals game. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
Hello and welcome to the New Media Zone. Ed and Dave here, Ed and Dave with you, along with our special guest Jim tonight.
Hi, everybody.
Back for the Christmas show. We always like to have Jim come down, especially on the Christmas shows. So I thought it'd be fun if we all wrote down our top 5 Christmas themed movies and our top 5 Christmas shows or specials. So we're going to do that in a minute. First, I think it would be good if we took a look and see what's coming out this Christmas.
Oh, that's always exciting.
Maybe there's something here that will be a future classic.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
All I know was last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
I was wrapping some holiday gifts,
Yo, yo, yo.
and I decided I'm going to put on the new giant TV that I purchased.
Okay.
And I'm going to put on YouTube and some Christmas music behind me. And the first video that came up was that one. And it was awful.
Yeah.
Awful, awful, awful. That's it. That's all I have to say. I like the Bing and the Dean and the Frank Christmases. That's the only ones I want to hear.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a classic Christmas guy.
Yeah, I grew up with Andy Williams. My mother was a big Andy Williams fan, and we had one of those wooden console stereos. Hi-fi, high fidelity sound.
That's right.
And when Mom took out that red Andy Williams album and we heard it, it's the holiday season,
Yep.
you knew it.
Was the record, the album red or the actual discs? They weren't
No,
that far.
the album.
The album, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old classics.
It's one of those stereos that when you turned it on, you should click, and it would hum for a minute because the tubes had to warm up.
Didn't it smell nice in there?
Yes,
Do you remember that
it
nice
always did,
warm,
yes.
warming smell in there?
Because the tubes were warming.
Do you remember that thing? Did you have one of those?
I don't remember that. I don't think I had that. I had the big console TV.
Yeah.
The big wooden frame with the speakers on the side.
Mhm.
And the big tubes. And then we had, when the picture would go, we'd have George from George's TV come in and put a booster on it. So it looked like you had to use your red and green glasses because it was a little out of focus.
Oh.
And would you always have to look at the crack of George's rear end as he worked on the TV?
He was behind the TV, so
Okay.
we got lucky there for George, but George is dead now.
Oh! Well, that was a long time ago,
It certainly
right?
was, and he was old
He
then.
was all that. So I found my list of what's coming out this Christmas. You remember in the old days when we were kids, there was the big Christmas movie schedule, and you would see what would come out and you'd go see on your winter break or your Christmas break?
Sure.
Do you remember looking forward to big hits like The Towering Inferno on your Christmas vacation?
Is that a Christmas movie yet?
That's not a Christmas movie, but that came out on Christmas in
Oh, okay.
'74, I believe.
With Earthquake?
That wasn't a Christmas one, but that was out about that
The
time.
same time, yeah.
Mhm.
I still think Charlton Heston was a fool to go back for that old broad
Oh,
when he had the youngin'. Anyway, gosh.
Genevieve Bujold.
Genevieve Bujold. And who was the Ava Gardner.
Gardner.
Oh my God! You ever see a picture of Ava Gardner in the 40s?
If he could go back to the 40s and get her, that would have been fine. but,
yeah.
Yeah, not from this movie.
Not in the 70s so much.
Remy! Remy! He had to go back and save Remy.
From his cold, dead hands.
Wasn't Lauren Green her father and about 5 years
Yes.
older than her?
and he had a heart attack as he was lowering everybody down. It was the Phosgene gas that was coming out of the damaged building. And then, take off your pantyhose, he said to the women, so they would get tied into a chair, and then they lowered them down.
You always had to take off your pantyhose or your shirt or pants in the Poseidon Adventure, where Stella Stevens went around. You can't climb in that dress; it'll have to come off. Now this looks like it might be a future classic we might have to discuss in the vein of Die Hard. This is coming out. Violent Night. Did you see trailers for this?
I have not.
I've seen it.
This is David Harbour. I don't know if he's really Santa or he's a guy that plays Santa. Did you pick up on that, what he is? He looks like he might be an actual Santa.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was sort of a parody at first, and then, is it going to change into something else? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
But it's rated R and he's killing people, so it looks like it might be fun for the holidays.
Let's dissect that sentence for a minute. Oh, he's killing people, so it looks like fun.
Yeah, for the holidays. It's not like to go to. You remember this Christmas of '76, Dave, where you were excited to go out and see King Kong for the Christmas holidays?
I saw 3 movies in 24 hours over that break. I remember that. Yeah, King
What
Kong
else?
was one of them. That was.
Do you remember the other two? Stars Born.
No, it was. Oh God, we were just Pink Panther Strikes Again.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
And.
I'm trying to think. Oh, the train one was out that time.
Silver Streak?
Silver Streak.
No.
Can't remember the third.
It was the Shaggy DA.
No.
Shaggy DA.
A reissue of the Shaggy DA. You had to go. You
Well,
must
I think
have
this might
had
have
a.
been first run.
Yep.
Oh God.
You might want to lift that one off.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's. Oof. Yeah.
Okay, why don't we get to our favorite Christmas movies? Now, how would we like to do this? Do our top 5 go down the line?
Well,
or our number 5 or 5?
I could go through my list very quickly because I didn't even bother with the top 5 because I can hardly think of 5.
How many do you have? And we'll start with you where you pick up.
Well, I got 4.
Okay, so you'll skip the first round here.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you got for number 5, Jim?
I have. What do I have? All right. You made fun of me for Shaggy DA. Love Actually.
Ooh. Now, is that a
Love
Christmas
Actually.
movie?
It is.
It
It
is.
starts and it ends at Christmas.
I haven't seen it, so that's why.
It
Yeah.
revolves Bill Nye's character. Is that his name? Bill?
Bill Nye.
His character.
He's a singer, right?
Yeah, he's like an aging rock star, and he is trying to get a hit. Apparently, it's a big thing in Britain to have the #1 song at Christmas.
Oh, that's right. He had like the hit for years. Isn't he sick of the song because it's played all?
He plays the song. What's the song? It goes, I feel it in my fingers.
Yes,
I feel
yes.
it in my toes. That one,
Yeah,
but he has changed it to a Christmassy themed
right
song.
You're right.
And so it revolves around a whole year in time.
But
and
isn't there
various
like 4 or
stories
5
in
stories?
time. Yes.
Doesn't Liam Neeson have one? Hugh
Yes.
Grant
Hugh Grant is the
is
Prime Minister.
The only one I know is Rick Grimes is in there.
Keira Knightley.
Yep. Rick
He's the
Grimes
one
is
that
in
holds
there.
the sign up,
Yeah.
which is now
Lincoln,
being
yeah.
done in a commercial.
Yep. And who else is in that? Alan Rickman.
Oh, that's right. And
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson, yeah.
So
I'll give this one a try. I think my wife saw it and didn't like it for some reason.
my wife loves it, and then that's how I ended up seeing it.
And you like it, so I'm going to give it a
I
chance.
really like it.
Are you going to give it a chance?
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it.
I've
okay.
seen it. It's okay.
It's not on this list.
You want to put it on number 5 for your list?
All right, what the hell?
Okay, I had trouble with the end of the Christmas list. So I wanted to choose between these two, and I went with Gremlins as number 5.
Okay.
This is one where you might not consider it a Christmas movie.
I've never saw it.
What? Gremlins?
Never saw it.
Oh, Dave!
Oh!
Didn't we have to see? That wasn't the point where we had to see movies every week for a show. So
So like other lists that are, or other movies that are sort of questionable to be on this list, not that I'm saying that this is, and one that I'll probably mention. It happens at Christmas time, right?
Right.
The story happens at Christmas time.
there's
so
not much
it's-
tying it into Christmas other than the.
I will say this. A film that takes place around Christmas, but basically has nothing to do with Christmas, is not a Christmas movie.
But there's gremlins dressed up in little Christmas outfits, Dave. Towards the end. Yeah, there is no actual, other than there's very, studio-looking snow all over. And,
Well, that's your hallmark with the foam snow on the edges of the
The actors are
sidewalk.
going,
Or when they're out in the snow, it's not, and it never melts off of them. It just lands on them and stays there. Okay.
the other one I was going to put there was Batman Returns. But that has even less, I think, Christmas qualities. Although there's a giant tree that the woman falls off of. And Alfred says Merry Christmas to Bruce Wayne.
Oh, well, so that's it. Now it's a Christmas movie because someone said Merry Christmas. Come on!
Shelley Winters climbs up a Christmas tree in the Poseidon Adventure.
You know what? I should have picked that one. That was great.
That's just as much Christmas.
That was New Year's, actually, when the ship turned. What do you got for number 4, Dave?
Holiday Inn.
Okay.
From 1942 with Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire. You will find a certain theme on my Christmas list.
Okay.
But you can't go wrong, folks. Well, most people will disagree with me. But any old film, I'll look here. Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Fred Astaire, Jimmy Stewart, any of them. That's the classics. And that's what I like the most. That's my number 4.
What are they singing there? That's not White Christmas. Do they sing a big Christmas number in there?
I don't know.
Happy holidays.
But it's, it takes place about saving a inn, blah, blah, blah.
Abraham.
Was that in there?
Oh, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, sing that.
I've never seen that.
February.
Oh, no.
A great man was early born, Abraham.
Do you want to retract your pick, Dave?
No.
Was that song in there?
You know what?
You don't remember.
Here's the problem with my list. I don't necessarily remember a lot about this movie.
Okay.
I told you I had a hard time coming up with 5 that I really liked. Like Love Actually, I still wouldn't put it because I'd rather watch an older film with the classic actors in it than a newer one. That's just my taste. So I picked Holiday Inn.
Okay.
That's all. I wouldn't put Love Actually ahead of it. I wouldn't put Gremlins or Batman Forever or whatever. Just
Returns. That was
whatever.
the Christmas one.
Yeah,
that was at the top. I looked on the Rotten Tomatoes for some ideas, and that was on the top of the list, Dave.
Holiday Inn.
Mm-hmm. What do you got for number 4, Jim?
I went with the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I must have been thinking somewhat more contemporary. The first time I saw Christmas Vacation, I was like, "This is why am I not laughing? I'm not enjoying this."
Yeah, I had the same reaction.
I can tell you why. Chevy Chase is in it.
Oh, God.
And actually, I liked it more the more I saw it. Maybe as I got a little older and started to relate to vacations and having dealings with family and things.
Well, you know what it was? I had the same reaction. Was the first one was rated R, and the second one PG-13. It was a little tame compared to the other ones. It wasn't quite as raunchy. But as we saw it later on, it grows on you, right?
And the house decorating. I love when, and I know you're not a Chevy Chase fan, obviously. When he's outside set, he's trying to put the lights up, and he's on the ladder, and then he staples his shirt to the thing.
And the music,
Trying to grab the-
and the xylophone or whatever it is. You've never seen it, Dave.
I have not seen it.
You should watch it. Although I told you to watch Young Frankenstein, and you didn't like it.
No, I did not. Now, I'm sure on someone's list there's a classic film, that I will also say I haven't watched ever. But we'll see if it's on someone's list.
Okay. Let's see. My number 4, right? We're at A Christmas Carol. Now, which one did I pick, Dave?
You picked Patrick Stewart.
No.
No, you picked George C. Scott.
No.
You picked
I picked what people consider the best version of
Alistair Sim.
That's right. Alistair Sim. I did write down the tomato score, 85% on the tomato meter. Yeah, that's the best version of Christmas Carol. What do you got number 3, Dave?
White Christmas. I'm sorry. Did you...
I'm surprised you didn't have Rich Little's A Christmas Carol on there.
No. Was that from HBO?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Sorry.
White Christmas from 1954 with Danny Kaye, Bing Crosby, I think Rosemary Clooney.
And then Rosemary Clooney.
A very thin Rosemary Clooney. But that's one of my favorites. Oh, I'll watch that anytime.
Will you follow the old man? Wherever he wants to go.
Yeah. But that's one of my favorite films of all time. But sadly, I'm a Danny Kaye fan. I like Danny Kaye movies.
Now, they sang White Christmas in there, but did they sing it the first time in another film, I believe?
Yes, it was in Holiday Inn,
Okay.
but that was also like 12 years earlier. Holiday Inn was 42, White Christmas was 54. Not a sequel, by the way. Some people think it's a sequel. Not a sequel, not connected. Different plot.
I was just thinking about that movie today, and there's a montage scene where Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby's characters have come back from the war,
Yes.
and they are now a hit show at all the clubs. And the montage scene is just hilarious because they cut to them performing in Kansas City. Ho! They just go,
Yep.
ho! And then they cut to Chicago.
Yep.
White Christmas.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. That's number 3 for Jim now.
Okay, I have the highly controversial Die Hard.
Die Hard.
It's one that, okay, if we're gonna say it's based around Christmas and it happens at Christmas, for me, that's enough to make it a Christmas movie. It's one that I have to watch every Christmas season. I don't feel complete for the season if I haven't watched Hans Gruber fall off the building.
And what does it say at the bottom of the shirt? That's underneath.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. I mean, what a great scene. Again, he's not wearing Christmas lights.
I love Die Hard, but I did watch it last Christmas, and it fails the test for a Christmas movie for me. Now,
But Batman does because someone falls out of a tree.
no, there's a lot of snow in Batman, and in the Die Hard, you're stuck in the tower.
Los Angeles.
No, at the end there was a Christmas song, wasn't there? Though.
Yes. Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
Okay,
I think that's because that may be Die Hard too, which also takes place at Christmas.
Yeah, but still, that one didn't do it for me.
Now,
I'll watch it.
I'll bring up with Die Hard another thing. The movie Lethal Weapon also takes place around Christmas. Was also out around the same time. I wouldn't consider that one. Even though they're singing Christmas carols in the police station, happens all the
I
time.
don't know. You guys
And there's a shootout at a Christmas tree stand.
Your requirements on what's it? I'm done with this conversation.
Oh, jeez. Well, you don't agree on Die Hard, and neither do I. But Jim is a big...
Sir, I'm glad I'm here for this special effing show.
But Jim is one of the people that's the big fan of this for Christmas.
All right.
Number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black Christmas.
Oh.
What the?
This is 1974. This is a slasher, an early slasher film. Do you not know this, Jim?
I do not know this one.
There was 2 really bad remakes recently. But this is at a sorority house with Olivia Hussey and Margot Kidder.
I think all women should be named Hussey.
Of course, she played Mrs. Bates in the Psycho 4, Olivia Hussey.
Wow. She was also
And-
Juliet, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And the odd thing
You
is
know what I'm saying? All of us teenagers that saw that movie? Huh?
a little
Okay.
booby, wasn't there in there? Well,
Maybe.
maybe you're not confirming
Can we go
that.
climb the ropes in gym class after we see the movie? Sorry.
So yeah, and there's a obscene phone caller in that movie with the most graphic of terms. Even for 1970, well, for now even, I think. Very graphic, you had to turn that down when you were a kid trying to sneak and watch it. But very creepy, and believe it or not, directed by Bob Clark, who directed Christmas Story. And also, same guy did the music, did both of those. So watch Black Christmas if you haven't seen the original 1974 one. Don't watch those remakes.
We're up to number 2.
Number 2 for Dave.
Number 2 for me, from 1946. It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh.
Love it. Great.
Oh, Ed does not love it.
Oh.
Of course, Batman's on his list. Because here's the the funny thing about my list is, well, they're Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm. I will give it to you. That's
Now,
a Christmas movie.
I don't think I could watch It's a Wonderful Life ever again.
Really?
I've seen it so many times.
Okay.
It's at this point, it's like Jaws for me, where I can recite lines and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I've seen it once and I can never watch it again.
I think it could be, it should have been, or at least the TV version should be edited about 15 minutes. I think it runs a little long.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of scenes that could use some trimming. But, you know, if you're just grabbing a big thing of popcorn and you're half gassed, yeah, you can watch that whole thing. And, you know, because a lot of different storylines in there intertwined. And, you know, there's characters named Bert and Ernie. But
Alfalfa's in it.
yep. But there's a lot of subtext and storylines. It's not just about a guy who, you know, what would life be without if he was never born. There's a lot of subtext to it, and it's just a classic film, which I'll never see again. Just like Wizard of Oz. I'd never watch that again.
How beautiful is Donna Reed in that movie?
She's pretty
Pretty
cute.
lady.
Yeah. But that's my number 2. It's a
Number
Wonderful
2.
Life.
We tend to watch, weirdly, for whatever reason, my wife and I will watch that on New Year's Eve. I don't know why. Maybe because it's sort of hopeful for the coming year. I think so.
No.
While
could be.
I absolutely recognize that for 99.999% of the world, that's a Christmas movie. I didn't put it on my list, although I love it
Well, I will
You
say.
didn't put it on your list at all.
I
did not.
will say it is a.
because it's a New Year's movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a New Year's movie, which is still part of the Christmas season. I will say that. But go ahead. I'm done.
My number 2 is this one came out in the 2000s. It's called The Nativity Story. Oscar Isaac is Joseph in this, and the young lady that plays Mary, I can't remember her name, but it's a very gritty telling of the nativity story, as opposed to, you know, having Max von Sydow and people all in makeup and you know, perfectly groomed, and these people are dirty and disgusting, and
They're living in the filth of the day.
And people are nasty, and you can tell the people are poor and they're cold, and it's a telling of the story that's a little more realistic and acceptable, and it's really well done.
I don't think I've heard of that version.
I know I haven't heard of it.
I've heard of Oscar Isaac, who was in the Star Wars.
Yes.
The new version. Well, I'll look at that when it comes out. Number 2, here's where I went with the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This was switching back and forth with number 1 and 2 for me, but I put this at number 2. I'll explain why when I get to number 1. But like Jim said, when I saw this in the theater, at the Mohawk Mall Theaters.
Ooh.
Funny how I remember where I saw every film I've seen back to the 70s, but the Mohawk Mall, and there was a giant cardboard cutout of him on the roof, like the poster. And I came out and I said, geez, that just didn't do it for me. Because I was expecting grittier, original vacation type humor. But after seeing it, wherever I saw it a lot first, on HBO, you know, Cousin Eddie with the classic line, which I don't think I can say here.
Yeah.
Although they're saying the F word on the FX channel and AMC now, so I think the S word we could slip through here, but we won't do it. It's the holidays.
It's the holiday season.
So, Christmas Vacation number 2. What do you got for number 1, Dave?
From 1947.
I recognize the theme here.
The Bishop's Wife.
Okay.
Cary Grant, David Niven, Loretta Young,
Okay.
Monty Woolley, who is, I believe, either died in Albany or Saratoga or is buried up there. Just a fun little film where Cary Grant plays an angel who comes down to help David Niven, who is a priest or whatever they go, one of them guys with the
Bishop, Monsignor.
Yeah, because
pointy hat on?
Yeah, it's the bishop's wife, so he'd be the bishop. Who has he's trying to get some funding for a new church, and Cary Grant plays an angel who comes down to help him with what he thinks he wants. Turns out it's not.
And it takes place at Christmas?
It's a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas.
You didn't throw Christmas in there. I'm just trying to figure out where the bishop. I mean, he could have happened any time of year.
It could have.
Is there a Christmas thing that happens in the movie? Or?
It takes place at Christmas. It's all about Christmas and wishes, and there's a tree in it.
Well, there was a tree in Gremlins too, and
Yeah, Lethal Weapon. They wish they could catch the bad guys. And Gary Busey wishes his hand wouldn't hurt when he holds it over the candle.
It's all about Christmas.
So there's a lot of Christmas
It's all about
around
Christmas and the meaning of Christmas and what you really want.
Was there an angel in there?
Yes, Cary Grant was the angel, whose name was Dudley.
Oh, now they remade this with Denzel Washington.
The preacher's wife.
Okay.
Don't see that one.
No.
Go with the classics.
I did see that pop up on the Rotten Tomato list. So.
Well, I'm going to have to look for that one this season.
The Bishop's Wife.
Okay.
Very good film.
Better freaking snow on this one.
There's snow all over the place.
Okay.
What do you got, Jim, for your number one?
We may have heard of this one before. I have White Christmas as my number one.
White Christmas.
One that we have to watch every year. Really love. There's just a lot to like in that movie. Even when it's not Christmassy, there's stuff in there that's really funny. I'm thinking of the Danny Kaye thing. I always think of my daughter laughing when there's the scene where they're doing the choreography and they're ding 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 ding, and Danny Kaye or the guy comes popping up out of the floor. Anyway, there's a lot of humor in it, very touching. I'm telling you, if you don't choke up when they follow the old man wherever he wants to go, then you have no soul.
Oh.
And the guy that plays the general was also, what did he do? Oh shoot.
He was in a lot of Three Stooges episodes, I know that.
Was he McCluskey from The Godfather?
Oh, I don't know. That I don't
Dave's
know.
never seen The Godfather.
Okay.
I'm just guessing.
Sterling Hayden?
Since he didn't
Sterling
see-
Hayden?
No, it was not Sterling Hayden.
I'm thinking of something else. Rats.
I
Sorry.
guess I'll have to try and watch White Christmas.
I
know where he was. He was also in the Partridge Family Christmas tree or Christmas episode.
Oh no!
Anyway, sorry.
Don't watch it, Ed.
Why? Don't watch it. You don't think I'll like it? Now I like old movies.
You won't like. You're not gonna like it.
I won't like it.
You won't like it.
I'm gonna watch it.
You're not gonna like it.
Okay, I'll tell you I don't like
You got
it.
some editing to do on this show,
Yeah,
but you're not gonna like it.
I'll try it. Why not? Now, number one for me, I was going back and forth with Christmas Vacation, Christmas Story.
Never saw it. That's the one I said. Someone's gonna mention it, and I've never seen that movie, despite the fact that it played like 24 hours in a row.
Yeah, you can't say you didn't have a chance to see it.
No, it does not hold any interest for me.
Huh?
But there's a sequel.
Yeah, and I saw the sequel on HBO, and it's pretty good.
Oh, all right.
The interesting thing that story takes place in the 40s, when you would think that era, you might find it intriguing to watch a movie about the 40s, but
it wasn't made in the 40s.
But it's very authentic with the Lifebuoy soap and the Red Ryder guns. It's good anyway. It reminds me, even though it's the 40s, it reminds me of the 60s when we were kids also. It's not that far off from then, you know, being in school and thinking about Christmas and what you would want. Plus it has Darren McGavin, who is the Night Stalker, which I loved, and Melinda Dillon, who did one of the best topless scenes of all time in Slapshot. All right, so hey, we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas out there, right, Dave? You got all your holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Yeah, whatever.
He's busy looking at Melinda Dillon there on the internet. Jim, nice to have you here. Were you going to be here with us for the New Year's show next week?
Nipples. Yeah, I'll be back for New Year.
All right.
We're gonna,
Next time we are gonna. Well, then we get off the rails from the happy holiday season.
Oh, I'm very happy now.
Now, if you like that Melinda Dillon scene, now it's a good time to check out Christmas Story, where she's all wrapped up in 1940s gear. So, Merry Christmas!
The New Media Zone has been a Cable 2000 production.